Hello, Simply Jan Homestead. Can you turn your volume down? Baby. Hello, Best Yet Journey. I can hear your YouTube. Having complications. My guest is having a couple of complications. She'll be up here in a couple of minutes. I threw the link out for her. Thank you guys for coming in. Welcome, Jason Avers. Welcome, Hiney Hills Farm and Garden. Welcome, Tazby. Welcome, Tina Ladybug. I'm waiting for my guests to come up here. I actually scheduled a live this time instead of just doing a random one. Welcome, Miss MB. How are you doing? Haven't heard much from you lately. No, I can't see you in StreamYard. Welcome, Beeheads Outdoors. Welcome, Flavors and Textures. I'm waiting for my guest to come up on StreamYard. Here she is. I see her popping in. Okay. I'm about to pull you up. Are you ready? Okay. Introducing my sister-in-law. She has a channel named FreehandlyMade.
Hello.
Welcome, Mama Steve.
I'm so tech challenged.
I know. I was gonna try to put up your link, but then I forgot I was gonna be doing the link for StreamYard. So obviously that link's already gone because I had to put up the one for StreamYard. So maybe one of my moderators will come in here in a little while and I can have them throw up your link. But if you have not subscribed to FreehandlyMade, please do so. She is my sister-in-law, and I was going to have her. We have 9 in the chat right now.
I'm trying to keep up with all the comments.
Yeah, these are several of my gardening community. I know Bomber Steve is in Australia. Tina Ladybug is in Tyler, Texas. Miss MB is in New Mexico. Trying to remember if I know Beeheads Outdoor. I'm trying to remember where some of them are from, but you get so many of them in your head and you're like, I don't know if I can remember them all. Welcome, Rebecca, stocking my pantry. Today I have up my sister-in-law from FreehandlyMade.
I know Rebecca. I'm subscribed to her page.
Yes, Rebecca is actually one of my friends. I've actually talked to her on the phone. We met on YouTube and we started talking. She's actually helped me with some technical things. So she's a good friend. Indiana Backyard Gardener, welcome. Twin Brook Acres, welcome. Okay, I wrote down some questions I was going to ask you. We have 13 in the chat right now. How long were you in the military?
Oh, very, very short blink. I was in the military for not even a full year.
Not even a full year. What kind of position did you have in the military? I never did get around to asking you that.
Security police.
Oh, well. Okay, I didn't know that. See, it's questions I didn't know.
Well,
I know the answer to.
I was
How long have you
feisty.
lived in Montana?
6 months.
6 months. How long did you live in Florida?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I went to Florida on vacation and stayed when Megan was 2 or 3. She's 20. So yeah, about 24 years.
Wow, so that's a big change. Florida, Montana, warm,
Yeah,
cold, freezing cold.
I went there on vacation and I didn't come back. I literally called my parents and told them, "Hey, can you guys pack up my apartment, please? I'm gonna stay." My
Wow.
parents, they actually did do my apartment. Hang on one second. I'm having issues. Okay, I can see you better now. Yeah, they actually did pack up my apartment. Bless their hearts. They must love me. And I went there with the U-Haul, picked up my stuff, and went back to Florida.
Wow, you must have really liked it. Well, I went all the way from Texas to Rhode Island, so that was like a big change. I loved it. I lived there 5.5 years. It's beautiful. I want to go back with my husband and visit there because he's not seeing, I guess New England. Didn't y'all live somewhere in there somewhere at some point?
Well,
New York. You lived in New York for a little while.
We did, yes.
How old were y'all then? How old were you then?
I was 16.
16. Okay. So, how long have you been restoring Cabbage Patch dolls?
Going on 3 years now.
3 years.
I started when I had my surgery, and I had nothing to do for 8 weeks.
Do you work on other kinds of dolls too? Cabbage Patch dolls?
I restored my mom's porcelain doll that was handmade by a friend of hers. She was in really good shape. She was just hadn't been cleaned, and I restored her in my parents' hotel room when they were in Florida visiting for my daughter's high school graduation.
So that's when it started.
Yeah. It was therapy.
How would you describe your channel?
My channel is kind of a mishmash of things. Primarily, it's an autism awareness acceptance channel, and it's also a Christian ministry as well, where I share my Christianity through the eyes of being autistic. We see things in a very different way, process things in a very different way. And then I also, one of the biggest things about autistics is we have many intense special interests. So Cabbage Patch Kids is one of mine. My collection is really big, but I am slimming that down. So once I get my collection to my permanent collection, I'll do a video of all of them. And then restoration, I just love taking dolls that are like 30, 35 years old and restoring them and bringing them back to life. The ones that I do personally and that I pour a little bit of money into, most of those, pretty much all of those so far have been donated to charitable causes. I posted 3 of them on my channel. I'm going to be working on 2 more starting next week. Those 2 kids, when they get done, are going to be traveling to Chicago to a daycare center to help the babies there that might have PTSD, anxiety, and whatnot. So those will be my 2 charity kids for this year. And then the rest of my channel, I'm starting gardening. I'm up in here in the mountains in cabin country, and I inherited those 3 gardens, so I'm going to try and bring those back to life and actually use them. So I'm excited about that.
What are you planning on planting in your garden? I wanted to ask you that too.
Right now, we have raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries that are they're just coming in on their own, growing wild. So definitely we'll keep those. And I'm not sure what I'm going to add to it. I know I want to add some vegetables. And I definitely know I want to grow some sunflowers because I'm obsessed with sunflowers.
Oh
So
yeah. Highland Homestead, Eva sent me some miniature sunflowers and some jumbo sunflowers. And then I have those sunflowers seeds that I gave you. So I'm going to have three
yes.
different types of sunflower seeds. The ones that you actually feed your chickens, black wool sunflower seeds, they will grow. Those are the seeds that I gave you. Those are I actually feed those to our chickens. So when you said you like sunflowers, say, oh, I'm going to get some of those together to give to her.
Yep, I've got them in a safe place waiting to plant.
Yeah.
So I just got to figure out where in the garden has the best sunlight because you've been to the cabin, so you know we have a lot of trees.
Yes, you have an awesome space for.
So I just got to figure out where the best sunlight is, and then that's where I'll plant the sunflowers. So
yes, I saw the Indiana Backyard Gardener talking about comfrey, and so I watched a video today on what it was, and I guess it has some medical or medicinal type properties to it. I was really curious to find out what it was. Welcome, Deborah's Delicious Dishes. So, yeah, basically what I got from it is that it has some medical things, but I'll have to do some more research. But when I hear stuff in lives, I want to know what it is. I'm like, what's comfrey?
Yeah, I have no idea what that is either.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a little more research. Maybe the Indiana Backyard Gardener could give us a lesson here.
There you go. I'm all for it.
I have to pull her up one day and ask her some gardening questions. So, yeah, she sent me some seeds and I sent her some seeds. We did like a seed swap. I think I'm supposed to send your mom some zinnia seeds. I told her they're really, really easy to grow. Let's see if I had any more questions. Okay, so I worked with autistic children for about 3 years. 2 years out of elementary and 1 year at a junior high. Okay, so, and some other special type needs. Is it true if you eat sweets before bedtime, it actually calms you down instead of makes you hyper? Is that true?
That is true, as well as anything with caffeine in it. But
wow.
if you're on medication, I'm ADHD as well, because why not? If you're on medication and you drink caffeine or eat something really sugary before bed, it can literally give you like a crash and burn effect. And you can actually wake up the next morning feeling like you have a little bit of a hangover. So
yeah,
if you're on medication, do not drink anything.
I heard that one time, and I never was really sure if that was a true statement or not. I was gonna ask. Let's see. What are well, tell me about when you got your diagnosis.
I was 43 when I got my diagnosis, and it was through our son that became possible. We were in the middle of getting my son assessed. We fought his entire 5 years of life to get him assessed. We knew that he was different from the day he was born. And when we finally got a specially licensed clinician through the FSU CARD program that specialize in autism, the first thing they do before they complete the assessment on a child is they interview the parents, which, by the way, was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I bet.
I had to answer 100 questions on this sheet, and I don't like answering questions. And so I got to about question 50, and I went into him and I said, do I really have to answer all these? Because I don't like questions. These are making me stressed. And I did. I finished the 100 questions. Took me over an hour. And then when we got done with our interviewing, he asked me if I would mind being assessed for autism and some other things. And so I went through a 3-month-long process. The worst part of being assessed, besides all the poking and prodding of needles, because you have to make sure there's nothing medically wrong with you first, was there was a session when I had to be in the room, and he just stared at me and watched my behavior for about 45 minutes.
Wow.
I could not sit still. I could not handle someone staring at me.
That would be hard. Welcome, Keto Homestead with Jess and Our Cabin in the Woods.
So after all that was done, and he studied all the research that he did on me. I came in about 2 weeks later, and he gave me my results. One of those was I was severely ADHD, which that was a no-brainer because I was diagnosed with that in my early 20s when I started junior college. So that didn't surprise me.
I seem to have more trouble finishing tasks these days myself. I will start something and be on to something else, and it'll still be sitting there. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, why didn't I finish that?
Yeah, I have like
that thing, squirrel, and that's me too. I have that problem too. Squirrel, where?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, kind of like that half-done project all through the house type situation. Yes, that is definitely a symptom of ADHD. And then of course he gave me the results of my autism diagnosis, which in America it's listed as level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is basically like Asperger's, although I don't have Asperger's. I'm not like Shelton from Big Bang Theory smart. I'm not genius. I'm
but you do some awesome accounting. That's pretty cool.
I am really good at numbers.
People talk about numbers. Somehow they got into numbers with gardening the other day. I was like, no, gardening should not be numbers. I like gardening. Don't mess it up for me by trying to make it a math problem.
When I was a little girl, I used to sit on Gigi's porch steps at the camper where she used to live with Grandpa Art, and she used to have a chalkboard and chalk, just one of those little lap chalkboards, and I would literally sit on her porch all day and just play math teacher and just play with numbers on the chalkboard. And so when I became an accountant, Gigi was not surprised. She was like, I knew you're going to be an accountant or a math teacher one day, because that's all you would do. I don't even remember doing that, but she remembers. Matter of fact, in my videos, there is a video that's I think it's titled Special Interest. I love the KJV, King James Bible. I think that's the video where I actually show I cannot stand for a number to be in written form. You know how like when you have to write out a check and you have to write the sentence, $12 down.
Where you have to spell out 10 or whatever.
Yeah, I hate checks for that reason. I don't like numbers being written in sentence form. Well, there's a book in the Bible where they're listing all the tribes of the Bible that are in the Bible, and they're listing these tribes, how many are in these tribes in sentence form. I couldn't stand it. So by every single verse that had a number in sentence form, I transferred it into numerical numbers because I couldn't handle it. So
yeah, that's
never to say it took me a while to get through that book of the Bible, but that is another example of autism is that kind of behavior.
I'm the opposite. I hear numbers and I go, oh, don't give me a headache. That's why he does the finances. I can do it. I have done it. You know, I've been single by myself and had to handle my own finances. I can do it. I choose not to do it because it stresses me out. So I let him do it.
There you go. Whatever works.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember where we were at.
Welcome, the professional farmer and in the kitchen with Karen.
Hi guys.
There's 18 people in the chat right now. So let's see if I have any more. Let's see if I have any more questions. You're in the hot seat. You're in the hot seat. Let's see if I can make you uncomfortable. No.
You know I love you because I hate questions.
Did I already ask you what you were going to plant in your garden, or do you know what you're going to plant yet?
You did. Sunflowers. I'm going to keep and learn how to take care of what I already have, which is strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. I kind of want to
plant any vegetables.
Yeah, I kind of want to try some tomatoes, and I love zucchini, and I love carrots. So I kind of want to try. I think I'm going to try that.
You should definitely do that. Should definitely.
I already have the little metal things for the tomatoes. Those, those little round metal.
Yes, yes.
So
We have to use that to keep the birds out. We got a lot of birds around here. And if you leave them on too long, the birds will be pecking at them.
Good to know, because we have a lot of birds.
I end up kicking them too early because I'm worried the birds are going to get them first. But this year I can't do that because I got shed wars. So I got my tomatoes have to be big. So I have to leave them alone. So Stephen will have to come along and smack my hands.
Yeah, I would love to join Shed Wars once I'm ready.
Yeah. Maybe you could catch us for next year. Well, you can see how we do, how we do. Right now, the Northern Hemisphere Southern Hemisphere. I keep getting that mixed up. Right now, the Southern Hemisphere is going, and most of them are in Australia, but I think there's one over in Kenya.
Oh.
So I have a lot of Australian channels on my YouTube now from all the Shed Wars people.
I think I have one of the ones that you have on your channel because I went there and clicked.
There's a ton of them. Oh, I was thinking about maybe doing a shout out for all my Australian channels because I have a lot of good ones that I like. I really like Silhouette Park Farm, Down on Boddington Farm, Homestead Oz, Down Under Farm and Forage. I mean, there's a ton of them. There's a lot of them. There's one right there. Down Under Boddington Farm. Welcome. See there? I was just talking about you, and here you are.
Hello, Australia from Montana, USA.
They did a great video on Australian slang because they were listening to my live one day, and we were just really messing up some more. We were talking about Australian channels, and we were just messing everything up. And so they did one on Aussie slang, and it was really cool. I really liked it. I get a kick out of listening to them. I love their accent.
They do have really cool accents.
They do. I love listening to them.
Hi, Monty's Motion. Nice to meet you.
Monty's in Motion is going to be on with me on Tuesday. So I already had her scheduled. Are you still there, FreehandlyMade?
Oh, I lost you for a second. You're back now.
Yes, I'm going to have Monty's in Motion.
That's what happens when you live in the mountains.
Yes, yes.
We're going to have them on when? I didn't hear that because I don't want to miss it. When? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Did you say Tuesday? Okay.
Tuesday.
Are you going to have the announcement so we can click on reminder button?
I actually already have one out there.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm going to have to look for it.
Like behind yours.
Okay. When we get done, because I don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
I've been missing a lot of the live feeds. Like tonight, I missed the camera one with Lala Farm. And yes, I'm going to go back and watch that because I want some gear.
You need tech advice. Lala Farms and Lori's World are really good at that. So
yes, she does text Tuesdays, and I'm definitely going to be tuning in on Tuesday because I need to learn.
I think hers will be hers will be before mine, because she's over in Canada. As a matter of fact, Lori's World is the reason we stayed up till 2 a.m. because we were waiting to have the Happy New Year for Canada. And she was in Canada, and she's like, my New Year will be in 1 hour. Can y'all wait? No, we're like, okay. So we waited.
I'm only 1 hour away from Canada. I'm totally going to get a passport and go visit and go see it.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
That would be very neat.
Of course, I got to wait till all the COVID stuff passes because, they won't, I don't think they'll let us over there right now because, cooties. But as soon as we're able to travel over there, I totally want to go visit Canada.
Yes.
I mean, I'm only an hour away. It would be like a travesty if I didn't go visit Canada. Only an hour away.
Hi, Mom.
Is that Miss Jan?
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Jan. I miss you.
Yeah, I know that was fun this summer, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, your mom's a hoot.
Yeah,
she was
she is
entertaining.
Yeah, she is entertaining. Yes, that's where I get it from.
She is a breath of fresh air.
Yes, she is. She is. I have an awesome mom. Welcome, Chris Crafts and Moore Wilson.
Hi, Chris Crafts.
Back to my little paper here. See if I have it.
Hi, Pete's Little Homestead. Nice to meet you.
Pete's Little Homestead. So we had Pete's Little Homestead all the way up to 1,000 yesterday, and overnight, some of the subs got wiped out.
Oh no!
And then woke up and he was at 988. I'm like, are you serious right now? So I'm thinking some of the people who subscribed to him did not watch 2 of his videos all the way through.
Yeah.
So if you wake up and you have one number and you get another number, you might as well get used to that. Let me just go ahead and tell you there, sis.
All right.
When I was getting close to 200, I'd be over 200 and I'd slap back down under 200, and I'd be over and I'd slap back down. I'm like,
yeah,
but that's what's happening to me right now.
If I can just get to 50, I'll do a happy dance.
Yeah, you will. You will. So if anybody's not subscribed to Pete's Little Homestead, please give him a sub. Watch some of his videos in full. Hit the thumbs up. Make a comment. That way your subscribe will last overnight. Also, subscribe to FreehandlyMade, my sister-in-law. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not a whole lot. Just that, you know, not everybody, we're all unique. We're all the same. And that's why I like the channels, because you can put more than one niche of yours on there. And I've been on I had a Facebook blog for several years now, and finally switched over to YouTube like maybe 2 years ago, but I didn't really use it a whole lot. I didn't really understand how to use it until you called me and told me how you were using it. And since then, it's definitely helped my following on Facebook, and that's important. And hopefully the channel will start taking off, because my biggest thing is educating not what autism really is, and it's a spectrum, and not all of us are what you see on TV. That's a huge stereotype, and there's a lot of famous actors that are autistic. There's a lot of famous painters, artists, writers that are autistic, and you would never know, especially when we're adults, because we know how to blend in. So yeah, we just come across as quirky. But it's definitely a challenge in our lives, and a lot of us have a hard time connecting with people. And so having this social media is wonderful. It's a wonderful tool for us, because getting in front of a camera is a lot easier. I could not do this right now if I was in front of several people face to face in person. No way. Never going to happen.
Either. Yeah, if I had 21 people in front of me right now, my mouth would be like shut, like this. I would not be talking. I would be like,
yeah, we call it selective mutism. It's a real thing. It is a real thing.
People were really shocked when they heard I had started a YouTube channel and that I was making videos. They were just completely shocked, because I'm normally shy and this is totally out of my character. So, welcome, Strong's Adventures. They said that you're up to 51 subs now.
Woohoo! I'm gonna do a Lori's World.
Do a Lori's World dance? Yes. I don't. Well, Lori's World, if you're still in here, I know you're in the middle of doing something else. Let us know what your subject is going to be for this Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Welcome.
Hat Creek Homestead.
I have a new content section coming up on my playlist. It's hand stitch quilting. Hand stitch quilting is a lost art in a lot of ways. Sewing with the machine apparently is faster. But one of the things that helps me regulate my moods and my emotions and my anxiety is to do things with my hands, which is why the Cabbage Patch restorations became so important to me, because I was able to do something with my hands, and I was able to hyper focus on something. And so I'm getting into hand stitch quilting. Everything will be done from hand, with my hands, nothing from a machine. And I will be definitely posting videos of that. I'm just waiting on some more of my material to come in, and I'm going to get started on my first project. So if you guys like crafts and quilting, be looking for that playlist. There should be some good stuff on there, if not comical.
Welcome, Jacka's Allotment and the Rusty Prepper.
Did anyone see Kitty in the background? Do I see who in the background?
Bright. Your kitty nephew.
Oh, yes, I see.
Yeah, he's becoming a big YouTube star.
Yes, he is.
He got my biggest short that I have is Bright covering up Miley's eyes, and I got 17,000 views on that and 9 subscribers. So that's pretty cool.
He's a superstar.
He's a superstar, and he has another one that did pretty well, where he's chasing his own tail.
Yes, I love that one. I think that one's my favorite.
I don't know what it is, but people like cat videos. So if you see me doing them, it's because people are watching it. So why not try that?
I haven't done one of my two fur babiys yet.
Yes,
I'm sure I'll get to it.
That's a popular subject, animals.
Yeah, I've done the elk that was grazing on my way home on our street, and then today I just did one of a huge amount of deer just hanging out in our pastures today. But I have not done one of my fur babies, and I need to, because they're my emotional support dogs, and they literally go with me everywhere.
Yeah,
the only reason they're not here tonight is because they're upstairs. And I'm down.
Before we went to leave for my niece and nephew's birthday party, Miley got a respiratory infection and would not eat. So I was literally in tears right before the birthday. We were supposed to leave for the birthday party. I was in tears thinking she was going to die on me like Princess Leia.
Aww.
So I had to just like wipe out the tears, put my makeup on, do my hair, and just, and he took her to the doctor. He took her to the vet, and she seems to be doing okay right now. So, hi, Miley.
Hey, Jack's Allotment said, this will be good for one of my singer friends who was initially from the States. She has a son who is autistic. I think he's now 18. He is an excellent musician. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, there's some of it. Talent. There is a lot of talent with kids and adults with autism. So
I noticed that when I was working with the kids at school.
Mm-hmm.
Lori's World said she's going to do TubeBuddy thumbnails. How to do TubeBuddy thumbnails. That's going to be her subject for Tuesday.
Wait, I need to ask Lori if you have to have the pay subscription to TubeBuddy, because right now the only thing I get from TubeBuddy is just my stats.
I think she's just doing the free version for people. I'm pretty sure. Lori, if you're still in here, you can answer that if you're not too busy with whatever. But I noticed that a lot of my kids, when I was working with the young kids, they had specific things they liked. It would either be numbers, or it would be words, or it would be dinosaurs, or it'd be just, they'd have a subject that they were specifically interested in. Yeah, Jacka's Allotment is the one always putting the funny stuff in all the live streams. He always comes up with the good jokes.
All right, Lori's World says that she just has the free version, so I don't know why I'm not seeing the thumbnail maker. I'm doing my thumbnails through a different app. So that I will be definitely interested to see where that is in the app. Phyllis Cash says that she's a crafter. Phyllis is my one and only friend here in Montana, and she's going to be helping me with my first quilt, and I'm definitely going to get a picture of her and I together doing that. It's going to be a fun time, and I'm sure we're going to have some funny moments.
Yes, I did notice, Phyllis. Hi, thanks for coming by. Let me read. Hat Creek Homestead. My 13-year-old son is severely autistic, and he has sensory processing disorder and combined type OCD, RAD, ODD, among a few other things. He is semi-verbal and have an 8-year-old and Mosaic Down syndrome. So, wow, that's a lot of stuff going on.
That is definitely a tall order. You gonna say hi? You gonna pop in and say hi? The hubby's gonna make a cameo appearance.
Hey, brother-in-law.
How?
He said how.
How? Welcome, David's Mow Train Homestead.
I liked when Steven threw a snowball at you.
Did you see it?
Yep, I saw. I liked it.
Oh, he threw it right in my face. I did a short today of him throwing it right in my face, and he knocked the phone right out of my hand.
I thought it was pretty
funny. I had a blank screen on it for half the day until I changed the thumbnail because.
Okay. Here's a disclaimer.
No, you're not allowed to have a disclaimer. No disclaimer. No disclaimer.
I didn't do it on purpose.
For all you guys watching, that jokester there that just popped in on Gail's little camera and this one back here, they can't be together for too long. It got trouble.
Yeah, they get too much stuff going on.
Hi, Cabins in the Woods. I'm glad you made it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of your videos. Yeah,
our Cabin in the Woods has some great shout-out videos.
I cannot deny or confirm what my sister just said. Just saying, guys.
You can tell we're family. We're just cracking up all over the place here.
Oh, there's Z. You gonna run? Come say hi. Oh, nope, he ran. That's our son Z. He's ADHD and he's autistic. I call him Z. He's a level 2, which isn't classic and it isn't high function. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. Hey, hon, can you turn that light off? I had that light off because it's causing a glare.
Yeah, I know. I keep trying to get it with the glare, get it not to have such a glare on my glasses. I don't know.
Thank you. That's better. That's better. I have one of those fluorescent type lights because in the basement it's really dark because there's no windows because the bottom floor is actually in the ground, like in the mountain. So you need really bright lights to see down here.
But there is one.
See, Palmer Steve says, I have friends with 3 kids, all on the spectrum. They are an amazing family. Oh, that's too much light. No.
Oh.
He's messing with my lighting. Tasby, cut it out on the lighting.
Stay.
Welcome, Crystal's Pets and Plants.
For all of you that have kids that are on the spectrum, I am living proof that life does not stop and you can be successful. Just find what their strengths are and feed into that strength. That's what we're doing with our son. So there's plenty of hope and your children are going to be amazing. And I like to say that we're awesome, and that's AUSOME. AU is short for autistic. So they're awesome.
They are awesome. I really miss my kids that I was working with.
They're so sweet, aren't they? They really are. And here's the cool thing. And you know, when I told my parents my diagnosis, my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, your childhood finally makes sense." because I was not an easy child to raise. I definitely wasn't an easy adult child either. Put my parents through a lot. And I managed to get my bachelor's degree without any accommodations. I'm sure if I had accommodations, I wouldn't have the anxiety that I have today, and I wouldn't have the depression I have today, because I had a lot of stress on me trying to figure out how to do college on my own. But I made it. I got my degree. Did I get, cum laude? No, but I passed, and I had a great career. And, before we moved, COVID hit, and we ended up coming to Montana. And now I'm reinventing my life all over again. And I'm sure that whatever I decide to do here, which it looks like it's going to be a lot of crafting and gardening. So woohoo.
Yeah, I like gardening. I like crafts too.
Becoming a homesteader. I actually had to look up what that,
you have a real homestead.
I had to look up what that meant. I'm a city slicker stuck in the mountains. I kid you not. Let me tell you about my first experience here in Montana at this cabin. So my father-in-law loans out his pastures to his neighbor's cows. And so my husband got all the pastures and the fencing ready to make sure none of them could escape, right? So I'm supposed to be okay while he's at work. Oh no. And I have a picture of this cow. I called it my troublemaker. This cute little black, and my husband's laughing at the stairs right now. This cute little black and white faced cow somehow squeezed in between the wire fencing and was having a field day in our patio backyard where our gardens are, just hanging out. And so I'm watching TV, and on the side of my vision, I see this huge thing walking by the cabin. I look out the window, and it's a cow that's gotten loose, a calf that's gotten loose in our yard. So I called my husband, and I'm like, what do I do with this calf? How do I get it back in the fence?
Oh, man.
And he's like, just shoo it. And I'm like, okay. So I'm on the phone with my husband trying to shoo this cow back into the fence. And it just looks at me, turns around, and walks away. And I'm like, what's this cow?
That would have been a great YouTube video.
So,
Lori's World, put up your link.
So while I'm trying to get this cow in, another cow escapes. Another calf escapes. And luckily, it wasn't the big cows. It was just the babies. Well, I managed to get that one back in, but this one was being ornery. It kept running away from me. So I told my husband, well, what do I do? He goes, well, there's a cow prod in the barn. Just get that. I'm like, what's a cow prod? So he's trying to tell me what a cow prod looks like. He goes, yeah, you just take the cow prod and it makes them, I don't know, electric shock, or it pokes them or something, and that'll get them into the fence. I'm like, I ain't getting no cow prod. I haven't been here long enough to handle a cow prod. I'm like, is it okay that he just hangs out in our garden until you get here? Because I've done try to. And so my husband said, you know what, baby, just don't even worry about it. Just I'll take care of it when I get home. Well, by the time he gets home, that darn cow went back into the fence on its own, of course, because now my husband's home. So, that was my first experience up here in the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, our cabin in the woods in Montana. Yeah.
Yes. Nothing like baptism by fire.
Lori's World, put up your link. Lori, if you're still in here, can you put up Pete's Little Homestead's link as well?
Thank you, Lori.
Subscribe to Pete's Little Homestead. Please give him a sub. I think most people in here probably already know Pete, but just in case, there might be one.
He's got some really good videos on there. He has one of him grilling, and I need to get back on that and look at that more carefully, because my husband's he's the griller in the household. I do the kitchen cooking, and he does the outdoor cooking.
Yeah, that's how we do it. He does the outdoor cooking part.
Yep. Thanks, Chris and Crafts. Appreciate you. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Any questions, just put them in the chat. Okay. So whoever shows up as thank you, Lori. Whoever shows up as a sub, go back, sis, there and subscribe back to them all. You'll have a few when you get done here. Tony at Our Cabin in the Woods is going to do a shout out for you on Tuesday, he said. So
Oh, thank you.
that's cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah. He
Feeling
does
much
a
love
shout
right
out
now.
show every Tuesday. I do mine every Monday.
I do mine
And,
every Thursday.
And Ernie Hatmaker has a good shout out show too. She does hers on Sundays.
Awesome. Hi, my Alabama Farm Life.
Hi, Alabama Farm Life. Kathleen. She has a good channel. She does some stories about her. She spent about 20 years working at as a 911 operator.
Ooh.
And now she's on a farm.
There's a job. Yeah, I've seen several of her videos. She was just in Florida. She was in Florida a little bit ago, and I told her, "Oh, I miss the white sandy beaches."
Flavors and Textures ask if you sew. I
do sew. Right. I used to sew ribbons on ballet shoes when my daughter was dancing point, and that's how I first learned how to sew on my own. And then I started sewing and fixing Cabbage Patch dolls, and but everything's done by hand. I do have a sewing machine. I haven't sewed on a sewing machine since high school, and my good friend Phyllis here is going to teach me how to use it. So I will be sewing more. I'll be sewing doll clothes, and I don't know.
Did you make the dress that you sent me? Did you make that, or did you order that from somewhere?
I did not make that one. I ordered that one. Primarily the use of my sewing machine is going to be making Cabbage Patch Kid clothes on my own, so that, because everything I do when I donate these kids, it's all coming out of my own pocket, and those outfits are not cheap. They go about $20 a pop just to buy one on Etsy. And Sue Leia, she does Cabbage Patch Kids originals clothing, and she's on Etsy, and she's my major supplier. Matter of fact, she just got done one for me tonight for the boy that I'm doing for that daycare. So it would be nice that if I could get used to a sewing machine again, so I can make my own clothes, so I can curb down that overhead cost for my charity dolls that I send out. So I will be doing a lot more sewing. So be looking for videos in the future, definitely.
Yeah.
But I like to hand sew better. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just doing something with my hands, I guess. And I find it relaxing. I love creating with my hands.
My whole life I've managed to not learn how to sew. And it's actually just now at my age that I am now, which I won't mention, that I've just now started to want to learn. But now it's like, I don't know. Maybe I will. We'll see. Right now we're going to focus on my diet and obviously shed wars, and probably be starting some seedlings indoors pretty soon. I've not had a lot of great experience with that, so I might need to watch some videos and see if I can figure it out, and then trying to grow my YouTube channel. So
apparently my shed is heated, according to Sean. So I'm really interested in doing some growing in there, like prep growing.
Oh yeah, don't you have one has windows around it?
Yes, I do.
That would be like a greenhouse right there.
I didn't know, but it's actually heated. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was heated. Jacko says I have 61 subscribers now. I need to do another happy dance. I gotta honor Lori. Lori, do a happy dance with me. I love that live interview. I laughed so hard. When they were talking about the gingerbread men and
when she was on Lala Farm.
Yeah, I actually went back to her page, and that was the first video I watched, was her and her husband doing the gingerbread man, and I laughed so hard. I'm like, oh, that is so me and my husband right there. I laughed so hard.
Her videos are funny.
So, but anyhow, my voice is getting cracky because I've been laughing so hard. I'm losing my voice. Do you hear that?
Yeah. That's a good sign. That means you're having fun. I think Tony might be leaving. Bye, Tony. Our cabin in
Bye,
the West.
Tony. It was nice to meet you.
Lori's World said, "Happy dance, woohoo!"
All
That's
right.
what she said in the chat.
I used how do you say that? Henna
Tiny
Hills
Hills
Farm.
Farms and Garden. She
Garden.
just doesn't have any. There's no spaces, but it's Tiny Hills Farm and Gardens.
Okay, Tiny Hills Farm and Garden. I used to crochet. Actually, my mom's got 2 crocheted blankets that I crocheted when I was in high school. I'm actually gonna learn a certain crochet pattern that looks like pine cones, but I'm gonna narrow the pattern a little bit more. And I'm going to use that as to reroute my Cabbage Patch Girl dolls and make some very creative long ponies. The biggest thing that's popular right now is what they call popcorn ponies, but every crafter likes to have a secret. And so I'm going to come up with a crocheted pony secret and start using that on the dolls the ones that I sell, that I'm going to be selling. So
I watched that video where they put the blue hair on that one Cabbage Patch doll. That was so neat. I was like, I had no idea that you were that talented. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Would you like
your brother was like, I didn't know you did all that. He had no idea.
Yeah.
He'll come home and I'll be watching one of your videos and he'll, catch some of it, so that's cool.
It took the rods that I did to make the pencil curls, and I had to bake all these, and it took an hour to bake 16 of them laying on a casserole dish at 275 Fahrenheit. The number of rods that I had to make just to make that particular doll's hairstyle, I made 50 rods of pencil curls, and she had less than the purple hair girl. The purple hair girl had more. The purple hair girl, that's a tongue twister. Blah, 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 blah. The purple haired girl, I had to make 65 rods of pencil curls to do her hairstyle.
Wow.
That takes patience.
Let's see what Jack's allotment said. He said, I did cross stitch when I was 11, as we were all made to do some home economics and such at secondary school. I loved it, but never let any of my mates know. Yes. Yes, guys don't want to do anything like that. I'm losing my voice today. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's because we're laughing so hard.
Did you see all our snow?
Cross stitch. I hear that cross stitch is a lot of fun to do, and I would love to do some cross stitching on my quilts. And I want to do like all different types of things. Like I want to do pillows and blankets and just all kinds of stuff. And definitely cross stitch is definitely something that I would love to learn how to do.
Anything I did that for a little while. I don't know if she's still doing it now, but.
And of course, crocheting. I mean, I miss doing that. I haven't done that. Now, I did that when I was a junior and a senior in high school. I did the crocheting. So it's all good stuff.
Your brother put out a video of your niece doing a flower arrangement on his channel. So if you want to check that out.
And she's supposed to have the results on Monday. So I'm interested to know how she did on that. It was beautiful.
She looked like she did really well. She wasn't happy with it, but I think she's just, overly critical of herself because people are,
Yeah, that's true. I think we all do that to ourselves.
You're like, oh, I shouldn't have put that video out. It's terrible. And then people are just laughing and thinking it's funny, and you're like, okay, well, maybe it's all right. I'm like that all the time. I'm like, always second guessing yourself.
Yep. So yeah, anything I can. My brother said I should get back into painting, and I did more than just painting. But my parents have pictures that I did in high school, hanging up in their house. One was of a tiger lily flower that I did. That one was a painting. And then I did a reproduction of Picasso's self-portrait, and I did it all in color pencil. And that one actually went to an art fair at the school, and I actually won. So
That's
that
awesome.
I think that one's hanging up in my dad's computer room. So, bro was like, you should get back into that. And I'm thinking about it, but I'm really want to concentrate on gardening. I mean, I have 3 gardens just waiting to be restored.
Yes.
So I might get back into painting and drawing and charcoal shading, but I don't know. We'll see. Right now I've got all these other projects. That's the thing. I have so many projects I want to do, and it's having to balance.
I gotta finish putting up my Christmas stuff. I got all the rooms done except for the living room. And we still have to work on the living room, but maybe I can get Steven to help me one night and we could just bang it out real quick.
I have everything put down except for my Christmas tree in the main living room. So I got to take those decorations down. And then I have to confess, in my bedroom, I have my own little Christmas tree. It's a Cabbage Patch Kid Christmas tree, and it's full of vintage Cabbage Patch Kid ornaments, porcelain ornaments. And then I have 4 antique self-sculptured Cabbage Patch Ruby Edition Christmas kids that are standing next to it. And then I have vintage porcelain Cabbage Patch Christmas figurines at the bottom. I got to put all that away, but I'm just like, but it's so pretty. And I love Cabbage Patch. It looks so, I'm having a hard time taking it down, but I have to take it down.
Yeah, I have a couple of elves that I bought at Christmas time that are white, and they don't look that Christmassy, so I actually just leave them out all year because they're not that Christmassy.
Have a good night. Thanks for coming by.
Hi, Jacka's allotment.
It's hard to keep track of the comments on there, and then looking at my cell phone. I wish I had 2 computer screens, make it a lot easier. Bye, Twin Brookacres.
Mom wants to see your Cabbage Patch tree. You'll have to do a little video on that.
Okay,
I think
I'll do a video
around your house.
Huh?
I think you should go around your house and show people all of your stuffed taxidermied animals.
Oh, my
father-in-law's
trophies.
So it's not to you. You're used to looking at it, but other people are going to find that fascinating. You should totally.
Yeah, there is a live stuffed huge Alaskan grizzly bear in the loft, and we have a flying wild turkey, and we have a snow leopard from Africa, and we have some warthogs from Africa, and we have all different types of they're not deer, antelope, and Sean will have to be with me when I do that video for everybody, because he can name what he can. Some of it he can't name, but he knows. I think he knows most of them. But yeah, there's a lot. It's like Wild Kingdom up in our house.
Yeah, it is. There's a ton. We took a picture of a lot of them. You're probably so used to looking at it, you don't even see it anymore. But
his dad was part of the Safari Club, which is a hunters club. And so when they would go hunting, and it's very important that people know this, because there are some anti-hunters out there. But what they would do is when they went to go on a hunting trip, they would do it through a local tribe, and every part of that animal went to that local tribe. And that's what that local tribe used for food, to make tools, medicine, things like that. So none of the animal went to waste. So when you see these, just know that. I don't know why it makes me feel better to say that, but it just does.
Yeah, my dad had a strict rule about hunting, and it's don't kill anything you're not going to eat.
There you go.
So in the Bible, it says it's okay to eat animals.
Right.
But we're to kill them. And yes, I have a deer head on my wall, but we ate that deer. So if you're going to put a deer head on your wall, that's fine, but you better have eaten that deer. Don't just leave it in the field and waste it. So, because obviously God put the animals for us to eat. Welcome, Lone Star, Pioneering, and the Garden Lady and Worms.
Hi, Lone Star. Hi, Garden Lady. Bye, Flavors and Textures.
Bye, Flavors and Textures.
I look forward to seeing your channel.
She has some great gardening videos.
Oh,
Flavors
good.
and Textures.
That's what I need. I need garden videos.
Yes. Well, I have a lot of great gardening channels on mine.
I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I need to get my by the way, since we have all you gardeners in here tonight, will one of you let me know when I'm supposed to start my compost stations? I've got like 6 bins, and the ground is rock hard right here. It's frozen. Obviously, I'm in Montana, but I would like to start planning and knowing what I need to do for when the spring starts to come.
If you get a nice day in between your snow, pretty much now would be a good time.
Okay.
Because I told my mom that I was working on composting my beds, and she's like, "Oh, we usually do that in the spring." I'm like, "Yes, but welcome, Grammy Karen." I said, "Yes, but all these gardeners, they're doing it now." Well, I don't have time to do the compost in the corner. Right now, what I have to do is compost in place. Basically, compost the area that I'm going to do. Welcome, Free Spirit. So my long raised beds that your brother built, the purple ones, I am basically composting those with chicken poop, kitchen scraps, like paper and cardboard, and then I'm going to put a layer of dirt on top of that. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a layer of leaves. And the leaves.
So you're not digging in the dirt because the dirt is frozen. The ground is frozen. You're going ahead and you're putting it just on top of the dirt that's there right now, and then you're putting.
Because it's a raised bed, it needs some filling because it's about 6 or 8 inches.
Mine are not raised. Mine are not raised. They're outlined. I thought they were raised, but I've been corrected. They're not raised. They're just outlined with wood, but they're not raised. They're right there on the ground, and that ground is solid rock right now. I can't dig in. I thought I was gonna have to dig in there, to kind of loosen up the soil so I could start composting and then shoveling the soil back on top, because I saw that in a video. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get a shovel in this ground right now. The ground is frozen solid.
So the Indiana Backyard Gardener is saying shred all your junk mail, paper bags, cardboard, etc. Pile it in the space along with food scraps, used coffee grounds, and tea bags.
Okay.
So, some people put it in a pile. I don't have time for that because gardening season is not too far away from me and where we're at. So I'm just composting it in place right there. But if you have leaves on a good day when it's nice that you can rake up and put on top of that, that would help.
Okay. Obviously, I have a ton of leaves because you've been here. And actually, in my compost bins right now, I have 6, and they're big, Sandra. I didn't realize how big they were, but they're big. So I need to get all of those leaves out, and then I think I'll just start with 1 bin. But the ground is solid. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to dig at all. And our ground does not start softening up until probably the beginning of May, is what I understand from my father, who used to garden here. It just takes that long. So unless we get lucky, sometimes April, the ground starts softening up in April. So, but I was wondering if I went ahead and put a lot of leaves on the garden areas that I have now, that would help kind of warm up the soil sooner, because I heard that on a video as well.
Yeah, that kind of protects the soil. The way I've kind of heard it is that the leaves sit on top and protect the soil, and when the moisture comes down from like your snow and your rain, that goes through the leaves and then takes that nitrogen down into the soil, is the way I've understood it from what I've heard. Of course, I'm learning a lot this year too by watching a lot of videos and listening to a lot of gardening live streams.
Gotcha. Well, I think I'm going to start with that one compost bin I have, and then I want to know what I can do with the 14 outlined garden squares that I have now. They're not raised, like I said. They're literally just patterned in wooden squares and the wood's just like a border, that soil is rock hard. So I'm a little confused as to, it's not a raised bed, so it's not like I can add soil. Does that make sense? Because then it would be over the wood that's there. So, and I can't dig into that soil because it's solid.
Yeah. Indiana Backyard Gardener is saying you can use just leaves. They call it leaf mold. So,
okay. So
that's what I've been watching.
All those leaves that are wild back there right now, on a day that I can tolerate, I just gotta go back there and sink and to put them in each section and leave them there, and that will help with the soil for when it's time to start gardening, when the ground starts to soften up for me. Okay, that's a plan.
That's the plan.
And then you guys will be able to see where the garden beds are, because I tried to film it, but you couldn't tell where they were because there's so much just plantage just everywhere. Like, it grew wild for 2 years. So I
have a bowl in my refrigerator where we save like kitchen scraps and coffee grounds. And so once the snow goes away here, I'm going to put that down. There's already some chicken poop there. It takes about 4 months for chicken poop to be where you can plant in it. So right now, between now and when I'm going to plant should be good. And then I'm going to put some cardboard and stuff that I've been saving, mail and stuff. And then I'm going to do soil and then leaves on top of that. So that'll fill up the beds. Hopefully, I got 20 bags of potting soil. That's what made my car get stuck in the mud. It was weighing down the back of the car.
I did. I saw what happened to you.
Yeah.
And obviously, you might need to get yourself out of that predicament because you're here.
Yeah. After I unloaded it by hand, by myself, got lots of exercise, but the bad thing is I didn't get that in the ground before the snow started. So the snow literally is over the bags. So it's all right. They'll just sit there, and when it's done and dried up a little, I'll go out there and start doing my composting that I want to do. So Jackus Allotment is saying, let's see, let me pull it up so it doesn't go away before I read it. All your uncooked vegetable scraps, your eggshells, separate them, grind them down into powder, and make your own mixes. So I do use eggshells as well in my, mainly I use it when I boil the eggs, because the other ones I use for the chickens. So I split some of it between gardening and some of it to the chickens. Welcome, Yo's Hopping Hilltop Farm.
Composting is going to be really important for us too, not just for the garden, but I don't know how many of these people saw my gardening, my 4 videos on the garden, but we don't recycle here. So I'm trying to recycle this into the soil so we won't have to take so much to the dump. And then all the glass and other things that you could recycle, you have to drive all the way to Missoula, which is about an hour drive, and you have to pay service. So I want to recycle as much as I can back into the land and to keep it from going into the dump. So
I want to start like a second trash can that's just for paper, and label it so the girls and hubby and everybody knows this is paper and cardboard only. You know, so I'm gonna but I've been doing that on my own, and I get a bag at a time and I go out there and put it and then put soil. So I have a pretty good sized bag going right now, and I tear up I'm hoping I get a shredder for my birthday so I can shred all my nails. That'll help.
I actually have a shredder that would help. Jackus, thank you for doing that, because this is a lot of information, and I'm definitely going to have to go back through comments and try and write down everything you guys have
welcome to Tin Can Gardener. Now, if you want some good gardening videos, you can check out Indiana Backyard Gardener and the Tin Can Gardener. They have some great videos. And Tin Can Gardener has some on greenhouses. So you might you might go check out some of his videos. That might help you there, sis, on your gardening. He's a pretty good gardener. He's over there in Florida. I don't know how far he is from where you used to be, but
I was in the Panhandle, Pensacola Panhandle. We used to call it the Lower Alabama because it was so close to Alabama. But yeah,
I'm trying to get the Tin Can Gardener to come on here with me one night and do a live. If I could get him to agree to it, I'll let you know, and I'll ask him a bunch of gardening questions.
definitely. I don't want to miss that.
He was on Lala Farm. If you want to go back and refer to that,
Okay.
he was one of the people that was interviewed. And you know what? If you wanted to get interviewed on Lala Farms, I have a little advice for you on how to make that happen.
Okay. Well, they're 8 weeks out right now, so that gives me plenty of time to get more content.
Yes.
I don't have much right now. I have like maybe 60 videos.
Yeah, and they actually do it. I think they try to stay under about 900 subs. They don't want to get anybody that's real close to 1,000. They're trying to help small channels.
I'm nowhere near 900 subs.
And I have, well, I'm planning now my 500 subscriber giveaway, and I'm at about 467 right now. So I have some different giveaways I'm going to do for that. That will be coming up. So, yes, Tin Can Gardener, send me an email what date you're available, like what day of the week you're available to do that. So,
yeah,
my next interview will be with Monty's in Motion on Tuesday.
I got that one marked. I will be there.
I'll have to look back at the time because I don't remember right now. But yes, I'm going to do giveaways on my 500 subscriber giveaway. I'm also going to have a video where if you comment on the video, you get entered into a drawing that will be drawn that night. And if you comment twice, you'll get put in there twice. So everybody is available to win. I'm not excluding anyone.
Ooh, does that mean I can do it too?
Yeah, that means you can do it too.
I'm so happy.
And I'm not, and I'll probably let your brother be the one who draws the name, so I can't get blamed for anything. They can blame Taz B.
I'm such a big kid.
So, yes, there. But you know, if there's any seeds that you need, sis, I can send you a little gathering of some stuff if you want.
Okay.
We're constantly seed swapping around here, so there's a lot. I've seed swapped with several different channels. I have some pretty cool, I guess it's like gourds or melon seeds that I'm going to get from Beeheads Outdoors. So that I'm looking forward to that.
Well, my biggest dream is to have a sunflower field. That's what I want. There is not a sunflower field in the Bitterroot Valley, and I want to be that person.
Did you see what your brother wrote? Currently accepting bribes.
He's a mess, y'all. He's a hot mess. My older brother is a hot mess.
That is funny.
That mess
yes, I have quite a few exciting things that I'm going to do for my live. I'm already planning it.
I'm excited.
Yes, I can't wait either. So I'm just trying to inch up there to 500 near. When I hit about 475, I'm going to put the video out. And then once I've been over 500 for maybe a week or so, I'll plan the live. And I'll have that scheduled one. That way everybody can watch it if they want to. So
I think for my first live video, because I'm so obsessed with Cabbage Patch Kids, and I don't think she's in here tonight, but I would love to get Dee's, Cappy's, and Vince's Toys on my channel for a live interview. She is just the most fun person
she
I
seems
have
like
ever met.
She's a big channel, right?
She's got just over 500 subscribers.
Oh, okay. You had
But
one that was a bunch of subscribers. I couldn't remember which one it was.
that one is Selena's Glamorous Dolls.
Yeah, I subscribed to both of those that you had
She's
on
at
there.
like 5-point-something thousand followers. But Dee's Cabbies and Vintage Toys, she has a little place in my heart because she's one of the first people I met in the cabbie community on Facebook, and she just took me in on her wing, and she's been so sweet to me. And so and I just love her I just love her personality. Actually, she's just a lot of fun. I come across really serious on some of my videos, especially the ones when I'm talking about autism, but I'm actually kind of a silly person, as you all can tell.
Yes, I know.
And
I noticed that on my videos. I come across really serious, and really, I'm a total cut up. If I know people, if I don't know you, then I'm probably a little more serious. But
she's a lot of fun, and her channel's really neat, and so I would love to. I think that would be for my first live interview. I think I'd like her to be the one to do it with, because I know she'd make me feel comfortable, and it would just be fun. It'd be like just like you and I doing right now, interviewing a sister from another mister.
I've had other channels come up with me, but not like as a sort of kind of like an interview type thing. So you're my first, and Monty's Emotional will be my second, and hopefully Tin Can Gardener will be my third.
my Alabama says, Farm Life says, "Oh no, doll channels, I'll never get anything done." Yeah, you will. We'll do them at night, girl. You're all good. We'll do them at night.
Yeah.
I love her. She's so funny.
Yeah, she is.
Oh my goodness. My cheeks hurt. I'm laughing so hard. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this Tuesday night, to that interview. So I'm definitely going to be there. Let's see, this is Sunday night. I had Z last night. Sean has Z tonight. I'll have him Monday night. Ooh, that means my Tuesday night will be free.
Yay! That works out perfect.
We swap nights, putting the little man to bed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Really, I mean,
yes,
split up the chores and stuff.
Yes.
We actually took the girls home early today because of the snow. So we had that birthday party in Abilene yesterday.
Yeah. When I saw that
we got her way before the snow.
When I saw that snow today, I mean, I know you guys get snow, obviously, because I visited and there was snow. Yeah. But when I saw those big flakes, I was like, they got Montana snow.
Oh, they did. Yeah, we totally did.
I'm like, that's why we haven't had snow. It went to Texas.
This is already our second. We got it on New Year's Eve. And it happened New Year's Eve night when I was doing that 6.5 hour live.
Yeah.
And so the next morning I woke up and I barely got a little bit of video before it was already melting. This time when I heard it was snowing, I literally I don't even think I got any coffee in me, and I was out there making a video. I was like, I'm not missing it this time. We make a big deal out of our snow here because we don't get it much.
Tim Can Gardner says he needs to do another live. Yes, you do. I would love to see you do someone live. Definitely. I will be watching for that so I don't miss it. I love his dog. I watched a video of his husky today.
Uh-huh.
I love his dog. No, that wasn't Tink. That was the cabin.
Our cabin in the woods.
Cabin in the woods, the one with the husky.
Willow, yes, Willow.
Cabin in the woods. Cabin in the woods needs to do a live interview. I don't know if he's ever done one, but his husky's gorgeous.
Come to think of it,
really good too.
Maybe I should ask Tony from our cabin in the woods come up here because I don't think he ever has ever done a live.
Oh, really? Yeah, you got to get him on.
Try to think of some people that you don't see commonly on lives. You know, like FreehandlyMade.
Has Tin Can been on live? Tin Can, have you been on live?
Yes,
he has
lives. He's going to school to be to learn I'm going to say the word wrong. Botany, you know, like to learn about plants, basically.
Oh, okay.
You know? He was in Shed Wars last year, and he's going to be in Shed Wars this year. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be stalking you Shed Wars people so I can see what it's all about. So I'll be prepared for 2022.
Yeah. I have to check out some of the Australian channels, and Tin Can Gardener is gardening right now, literally. So
Now, what area is he in?
I would have to ask him. I don't know the specific area of Florida. I just know Florida. That's all I know. I know he grows a lot of like exotic fruits that.
I think he said he's in South Florida, and he said the name of the city where he's around, but I couldn't pronounce it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm lucky if I can remember the cities. There's so many to remember. Of course, my Alabama line, she pretty much gives that one to us, Alabama. Lori's World's in Canada. Monty's in Motion is in Oregon. See, I got to make up my questions.
Monty, you're my neighbor, dude. You're right next door.
I want to say it's Oregon.
If you're in Oregon, you're right next door.
Let's see. I've sent out so many seeds, and yeah, Oregon. That's right. I got it right.
Monty said that this will be our first live, Gal. Maybe, Gail, maybe that should be our niche, hosting channels for the first time live. There you go.
Yeah, because on StreamYard we can pull up anybody.
Yep, Oregon.
On there.
Yeah, so, he's really close to me. He's only like, well, let's see. My mother-in-law lives around Bend, Oregon. So, and she's 8 hours away. And then I have a good friend from high school that lives in Portland. I want to go to Portland so bad. But yeah, Oregon's not far at all. And it's actually a gorgeous drive. You wouldn't like it, Gail, because the mountain, you have to go through these passes. You wouldn't like it. But it is really pretty. The mountains are pretty. If you don't have a fear of heights, you'll love it. The mountains are pretty. But if you have a fear of heights, you won't like the drive. You're going to want to fly there. You're not going to
I put up the link out in the chat. So if anybody wants to join us up here, now that we've mainly done the official interview, if somebody wants to come up here and join us, just click on that link there in StreamYard, and it'll bring you up, and we'll chat. We'll have a chat with you.
Well, it was for all of you that are having to go. It was really fun. Thank you for coming. I had a blast. Yeah, the coast is definitely amazing. It really is. It's just beautiful. I've been in Spokane. I drive through Spokane when I go to Oregon, actually, and I have a high school family that I'm still close with. That I'm kind of like their adopted daughter, and I stay with them for a little bit. But I drive through Spokane, Washington to get to Oregon. So Oregon is really, really, really pretty area. Really gorgeous area.
I'm trying to remember what all states we passed through when we went to Montana.
Well, I know you came a different way than I had went, but I know you went through Colorado, and I know you went through. Didn't you go through New Mexico?
Oh
no,
we
you didn't
did
go
because they had a bunch of.
That's right. You guys detoured around that.
We detoured them because they had quarantine stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Colorado, Wyoming.
Okay.
Idaho is what we did. He said.
Gotcha. So. Yeah, that was quite a drive for you all. Steve said, yeah, when we went and Sean and I did our drive with the U-Haul, and I had to follow him. I mean, we drove all the way from Florida, stopped in Texas, visited. Well, first we stopped in Louisiana and visited our friend Pam, and then we stopped in Texas for a couple days because we both just needed to rest. And then we stopped in Denver, stayed in a hotel, saw a friend of mine, two friends of mine that ended up getting married from high school. We had a great time, laughed over dinner. We laughed more than we ate.
Yeah.
And then we got to Billings, Montana. See, we didn't go through Darby like you guys did. We went around the other way through Billings, Montana, stayed in a hotel there. And then the next day we drove 4 hours into where we are now, the Bitterroot Valley. Victor.
Yes,
So
Kathleen, that was a long drive. Welcome, Jandera. Jandera is one of my Australian channels that I have. So I
hello.
put the link out
Hello,
in the
Australia.
chat if anybody wants to come up and join us. Bye, Pete's Little Homestead.
Bye, Pete. Thanks for coming.
I hope he gets his 1,000 soon. I was so excited when he got it yesterday, and then he woke up, it was gone. I was like, no way. That did not just happen.
That's crazy.
So
crazy.
basically what I heard is that if you go and you don't watch 2 videos all the way through, even if they're like a minute or 2 minutes, you watch them all the way through, you hit the like button and all that, it should last overnight.
Okay.
But if you don't, if you sub the channel and don't watch a video at all, it's not gonna, it'll be gone the next day.
Wow. I did not know that. Normally when I sub on a channel, I'm watching several different videos, so, and commenting and liking. So I shouldn't have lost anybody, but just in case, I'll go back through my channels and make sure I didn't lose anybody.
Yeah. But
That's good.
that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Some other people say it's just one video. You watch one video all the way through. So since I'm not sure, I just try to pick 2 and watch them. So it may be the slower version, but it's the kinder version. So yeah, I was watching a live the other day, and there was like 5 Australian channels up all at one time.
Wow.
And you know, every 10 minutes or so they'd say something, and I'd be like, what? But yeah, they're so interesting to listen to. They call candy lollies.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They call eggs bum nuts.
Well, you know, Taz B and I, we grew up in England for 4 years when we were kids. And the one thing I miss, which by the way, they have here in the Bitterroot Valley, I'm so excited, chocolate covered honeycomb. Girl,
Never had it.
Stuff is covered with dark chocolate, and it's literally a honeycomb, and you put it in your mouth and it just melts in your mouth, and you're on a heavenly cloud. It's so good. And it sounds like it would be too sweet, but the dark chocolate balances off the honeycomb. And I'm telling you, I can get some. I can order it online from the candy store here. And I wish I would have known it when you guys were here, but I didn't find out about this nice little treasure till after I left.
Pete said
I'm gonna order you some. I'm gonna order you some and send it. I'm gonna have it shipped. They'll actually ship it to you, and you've gotta try. It's so good. Pete's at $9.94. Yay!
You went back up to $9.94. I hope it survives the night. Yeah,
I hope so too. Y'all watch a video and comment so he doesn't lose you.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. I needed. I have an idea for a video that I'm going to do, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the things I learned about YouTube, and then I'm going to mention all the channels that taught me those things.
That is an awesome idea. Yes, because that's how we learn. My channel's been sitting dormant for, I don't know, when did I start my channel? It says on there, maybe 2 years, because I didn't know how to use it. Just didn't know how to use it. So.
Ins and outs of how it is.
Jack goes, yes, the chocolate covered honeycomb was when we lived in England. My dad was Air Force, and we were stationed at RAF Lakenheath, and we used to shop the markets. I just love the markets, and it's really cool because living here in the Bitterroot Valley reminds me of England growing up, because we have markets here, and all the farmers. We have a lot of farmers, and it's really neat. This little area that I live in. They're really big on organic farming here, which is like heaven to me. And so I get to shop the market, and And then that candy store, they make chocolate covered honeycomb from the local bee farmers
That
here.
sounds so
How cool
good.
is that? So yeah, it's really
You come get baby. Baby is trying to claw me to death right now.
She wants your attention.
She's getting a little old and cranky, and she may bite me when he goes to grab her.
If any of you guys want to try this chocolate covered honeycomb, I will get you the website. Just comment on one of my videos on my channel. Oh, actually, you can email me. My email's listed on my channel. If you go to About, you can email me, and I can email you back with the website, and you can literally have the candy shipped to your house from here. So just so you know,
That's
it's good.
Cool.
It's yummy. For about £1, it's about, I think, $14.95. But I'm telling you, it'll be the best $15 you've ever spent in your life because it's just so good. It's so good.
I took that I took that channel logo that your niece designed for me, and I had T-shirts made for me and your brother.
I want a T-shirt.
So we're going to. What size do you need?
A large.
A large, okay.
Yes, thank you.
I will put in an order for you. We're going to wear them to that YouTube channel meetup in Oklahoma.
You told me. Are you going to film any of that? Because I'm going to have to live my life through you for that.
Yes, and I'll let you know what other channels are going to be filming it too. I found out about it by Journey Along with Shannon. So if you don't have her, Journey Along with Shannon.
I don't have her.
Yes. Oh, she's so sweet. She lives in Oklahoma. She has the sweetest voice. She used to be a nurse. She is just a really sweet lady.
Hey, Hat Creek says that they're going to be at that gathering in Oklahoma, so you'll get to hang out with them.
That's neat. Yes, they said it's open to anybody. I wish you were closer and you could come up there too.
Jacko said that he lives 10 miles away from a chocolate factory, which makes the chocolate-covered honeycomb. If I live 10 miles away from one, and it's already bad enough that I live too close to this candy store because I'm going to end up gaining like 20 pounds. The only reason why I haven't is because my husband would kill me if I went to that candy store every day spending $15.
Was it the one we went to?
Yes.
Yes, that was cool.
How we missed that when you guys were here, I don't know. It was in the chocolate case where they have all the chocolates. That's where it was, on the bottom shelf.
Oh, man, I would have totally
we missed it.
That'll be something to look forward to for next time. What was I going to say? So my official diet starting is February 3rd.
Oh. Well, you're going to have to cheat on your diet when you come visit again, so you can have some chocolate-covered honeycomb.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's dark chocolate, and they say dark chocolate is healthy for you. There's no added sugars because it's honeycomb, so it's all natural. So there you go.
Yeah, it's got polyphenols in it.
Yeah. See? You can have some.
Right? Yeah. I'll probably go ahead and start eating some of my salads, and if it gets warm enough, we'll start going ahead and doing our walking. So we'll do a little half kickoff. 2 weeks without sugar, it will give you a headache. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well,
a headache.
And you just I didn't realize how much sugar is in everything too. I had no idea.
Oh yeah. Pretty much packaged foods are a thing of the past for me. I might make some little things on the weekends when the girls are there, but mostly for me, it'll be meat and vegetables.
I'm looking for a pen. So
any kind of bread that I do will be, like tapioca flour, cassava flour, almond flour, coconut flour. All my desserts and bread will be made out of those things. And I have to go specifically to Abilene to buy all those things. Are you writing down channel names?
Hat Creek gave me her Facebook name, and she told me to add her, so I'm writing it down.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I do need to write down these channels because I'm not going to remember them. Can you see the live comments when you go back to watch the video again? Or do they just...
You can. This video, it may take a little while to publish. Sometimes it'll take a couple of hours, or it might even be tomorrow. But yeah, you can go back over it and take notes.
Okay, good.
If you have trouble seeing the comments, let me know. I might go back over it and write some channel names down myself. I like to make sure that I'm subscribed to everybody that came into my life.
John wants to know how I advocate for autism, that's a very good question, and thank you so much for asking. A lot of my advocacy is through Facebook, through my blogs. I speak about what it's like to live on the spectrum. I squash stereotypes that society has spread like wildfire. I'm a strong advocate against changing our behaviors and making us masks to fit in with society, because a lot of you may not know this, but autistic adults are in one of the top suicide rates, and it's because we burn out trying to be someone we're not, and it causes clinical deep depression. So I speak a lot about that type of stuff. I'm also, if you go to Facebook, on my Facebook blog, which is also FreehandlyMade, a lot of times when I post things, you'll see AU at the end of my name. And that is an organization called Autistic Union, and you have to make a pledge that you would advocate for acceptance, meaning that you accept all autistics as they are and don't expect them to change or medicate to stop their certain behaviors like stemming and things like that. So I do a lot of videos, and anytime I do anything crafty, I post about the dolls. And then most of my dolls that I do donate, the first two you'll see they're wearing they are wearing overalls with the rainbow infinity sign, and it says strength. That is my logo that I came up with. I wish I wrote it, but I didn't, but that's okay. The person who I get most of my outfits through, yes, I do have autism. I'm on the spectrum. They consider it high functioning, but I really hate that label. I hate that label a lot because we get kind of left on the wayside because people don't think we need help when we do. But yes, I do have autism. But anyway, so those are autism outfits that I had designed and made for me because I haven't sewn in like forever. And I donate those special, I call them comfort charity kits, and they're dolls to help comfort a child. The hair is done very strong so a child can't pull it out. They can hug it. They can play with the hair. Whatever they want to do with that doll, and they get donated to autistic children. They also get donated to ADHD children. Let's see. She asked, do you have much of a focus on late diagnosed women? Absolutely. I'm a strong advocate for that because I was not diagnosed till I was 43. I have a video on masking, specifically confronting that issue as to why women are diagnosed so late in life. And it's because we are master chameleons. We are really good at blending in, and we do it to survive because we don't want to get picked on. And our traits are very, very subtle compared to males who are on the spectrum in a lot of ways. Yes, absolutely. You can share it. If you go to Freehandly Made by God on Facebook, that's actually my Facebook page, and there's information there. And my channel has a lot of videos specifically speaking about being a female on the spectrum and being diagnosed at a late age. So,
Gendaria, yes, she does have a video on that.
Yes, I do have the characteristics of women on autism. Actually, I have most of them, most of those characteristics, which is why I flew under the radar all my life. I'm glad she's asking these questions because these are really important
Yeah,
questions.
she said she actually came into the live because she saw the subject of the live. So
Yeah, and it's funny because here's a tip for everybody just to know, so you know how it affects us. A lot of times I'm very transparent about my diagnosis because I want to use my life to advocate and to educate people about autism, especially in females. And a lot of the biggest comment I get is, "You don't look autistic." Well, what does autistic look like? Society.
there's no look. My little autistic kids at school, they were adorable. I just loved them to pieces.
And they
They were
all have personalities just like everybody.
Oh,
Not all of our characteristics are the same. That's why they call it a spectrum for a reason. I may have sensory issues with light, taste, touch, and then my co-partner or my autistic brother or sister from another mother may not have those problems. They may have something else. It might be, maybe they don't have an issue with sensory. Maybe they have an issue, a characteristic with something else. So yes, please, 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 if someone tells you they're autistic, do not say, well, you don't look autistic. You're not meaning to be insulting or to be hurtful. But as an autistic, I will tell you, it really gets us upset because most of us have lived our whole lives hiding who we are to blend in. And we need to stop doing that. We need to take off our mask and we need to start being able to be who we are. So when we hear that term, it's like, it's a trigger, and it can make us have an anxiety attack, and it can make us withdraw and shut down. So just be sensitive and cautious of that, not to use that phrase. Just be willing to listen. In your mind you may say, well, they don't look autistic, but instead of saying that, say, really, can you tell me what's life like being on the spectrum? Like, ask questions. That helps tremendously and will be actually welcomed by somebody that might be sharing with you that they're autistic. When most people think of autism, and the reason why they say, well, you don't, and this is a question for Hat Creek. When people say that makes my blood boil, how are they supposed to look? Unfortunately, society has done a good job of stereotyping autism. The movie Rain Man, that's a big one right there. And there's a lot of stereotypes that you can't be autistic because you're verbal, or you can't be autistic because you show feelings. That's so not true. A lot of females, they actually show too much feelings. They have a problem where you could be going through something horrible and we will feel it like it's literally happening to us. So I'm going to give you an example. A dear friend of mine, did you guys lose me? Okay.
You weren't buffering, sorry.
A dear friend of mine from the cabbie community who took me in and introduced me to a lot of people besides Dee's cabbies. Her name was Charlene, and she came down with cancer. It was very sudden, and she passed away. I found out through another cabbie friend of mine, another cabbie collector of mine. She sent me a text and said, hey, I just want you to know that we lost Charlene. She passed today. I literally cried all day. Literally cried. I was so upset. And I cried for her girls, and I was so full of emotion, I couldn't handle it. And I literally went into my bedroom and I shut down. And unfortunately, my husband had to take care of our son because I couldn't even take care of our son because I couldn't regulate all the emotions I was feeling at once. So that's an example of overload.
You're having an overload, sensory overload.
Sensory overload. So we can feel. So I do speak about a lot of the stereotypes and try to squash them. I'm reading Jacko's comment. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's why I'm putting them up there so you can see them.
Yes, Jacko's. A lot of people see. Here's the thing: mental health it's it's hidden. Mental health should be treated just like medical health. Just because you can't see it and it's not relatively easily seeable, doesn't mean it's not there. And unless you live your life really transparent, or if you're really good at hiding it, and you can hyper focus on your job or whatever it is you're doing, people are not going to know. And unfortunately, people don't know how to handle someone coming up and being honest and saying, hey, this is who I am. They don't know how to handle it because society has taught them that, well, no, you can't be autistic because you're supposed to look like this. You're supposed to be nonverbal. You're not supposed to be able to talk to me. You're not supposed to be able to smile or laugh or have emotion. And so the Autistic Society community that I belong to on Facebook, we're trying to squash that and change that. And so I'm a very strong advocate to get that to stop, to say, no, that's not what it looks like. This is what being on the spectrum looks like.
Is one of the things people assume is that you don't look them in the eye when you're talking? Is that one of the traits that they say that's not actually true?
Yes, and we can actually look you in the eye. And a lot of times I'm not really looking somebody in the eye. I'm looking at, I'm picking a place up the forehead or their nose, so it looks like I'm looking in their eyes, and I'm actually not. And a lot of times my eyes will shift a lot, side to side or up and down. And you know, and another thing too is, oh well, you don't have like the typical stimming behaviors, like you don't rock back and forth really hard. Well, you see, I'm rocking back and forth right now. I'm constantly moving.
One of the things they said when I was taking my classes, when I was working with special needs children, they said, when you meet one person with autism, you've only met one person with autism. Everyone is different. There are some that don't look you in the eye, and there are some that go back and forth, and there are some that have trouble with emotions, but everyone is different.
That's correct. And there's a lot of autistics that are very, very verbal, have no problem being verbal. And then there's some like me where I can be very, very verbal, no problem. But when you get me in a crowd of people, even at church, even if it's in church, a church I've been going to for a while, I have what they call selective mutism, where I won't speak. I'm listening, I'm taking everything in, but I'm just too uncomfortable to speak. So there's a lot of stereotypes, unfortunately, out there, and I'm just doing my best to educate. And yes, exactly, they learn how to mask. I masked my whole life, and I had a identity crisis for many, many years. When I was finally diagnosed at 43, which I think Janera asked how I initially found out I was autistic. It was through my son. It was through our 8-year-old son. He was being assessed, and we had to do an interview with the clinician. And he literally came to me and asked me if I would be willing to allow him to assess me for ADHD and autism, and I agreed. So that's how that started. So. Yes. Oh, talking about stemming, I do a lot of stemming. There's actually a video on there of me driving. And I really hated doing that video, but I wanted people to see what it was like for me to drive. I have major driving anxiety, and you will see some of my stemming that I do. And I say, stem on. It helps with anxiety, and it's part of who I am, and there's nothing wrong with it. If it makes somebody else uncomfortable, well, that's their problem. I'm going to twirl my hair, and I'm going to mess with my fingers, and I'm going to stem because it's what I need to do. It helps regulate me. But yeah, back to the masking. The identity crisis I had, I think I'm a lot closer to my family now. I'm definitely closer to my brother and my sister-in-law since I've kind of come out of the autism closet. And I'm actually have more of a relationship with my mother because she's learning how to communicate with me now, because I won't answer the phone. I hate talking on the phone. And my daughters, they're learning more about their mom now. And I'm actually starting to finally connect with people, but I still have a problem connecting with people. A lot of my connections are face value, not very intimate. But that's a protection mechanism because I've been hurt all my life by people wanting me to be something I'm not. So I avoid that by having my own little bubble and only letting very few people in. So you all are getting to see me very raw and vulnerable tonight. But I don't mind because I know it's going to serve a great purpose. It's going to educate and hopefully promote acceptance. Let's see. Hat Creek says, I found my son's stems help with him not having meltdown. Yes, that's exactly what stemming does. It keeps you from having a meltdown. It is essential. Let us stem. It doesn't hurt anybody. As long as we're not banging our head against the wall or pulling our hair out, let us stem.
One thing I noticed when I was at the school is that that the children who had autism had trouble with schedule changes. They like things to follow a specific schedule. So if you keep them on a schedule, that helps. Sometimes if you even, write it down and check off each thing that you do, that helps the children to know what's coming next. And then they don't feel so much anxiety over what's going to happen next. Like field trips would throw them over the top, some of them, because they did not know what was going to happen. That wasn't an everyday thing. So you would have to write it down and they could check it off.
I am that way too, and so is our son Z. He has to know what's going to happen during the day, and if anything changes that, like I'll give you an example. Tonight, I said I was going to go to Joanne's and come straight home, but then I forgot to pick up some hamburger helper for a quick dinner tonight because I knew I was going to do this interview, and it threw him for a loop. That you said, and so when I'm doing scheduling, even for myself, if something disrupts what I'm trying to do. Man, it can throw me into a meltdown at 40-something years old. So, and transitions are very, very difficult, not just for my son, but for myself as well. Just it's a challenge. Every day is a challenge, literally. So, Hat Creek says we have to tell him, okay, in 10 minutes we are going to church. Okay, in 5 minutes we are leaving. Okay, in 1 minute till we leave. Yep, we have to do the same thing here as well. So
timers are good too.
Thank you, Jackie.
If you want him to do something, you put on a timer and say you have to do this for this certain amount of time. And so that
likes to use a timer. I do.
Helps. Buffering.
We're buffering for a minute.
Okay.
Are you back?
You go back to the timers thing. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, the timers, I can't handle the noise of the timer. It hurts my ears too bad. So I'll let Zayden use the timer, but usually when I know it's getting close to time for it to go off, I'll leave and go into another room because it literally hurts my ears. I have a sensory issue with noise. So
thank you, Jacka's allotment. That was a nice comment he made. He said,
thank you,
this has been one of the most interesting live chats I've been on. Raw and real, yes.
Yes,
that's me. I'm going to continue to do interviews with different channels. And I'm going to try to find some that I haven't seen a lot or that I haven't seen at all. And so we could take the time to get to know them.
Yeah, that'll be good. John, yes, I can use my phone timer as long as I can find a sound that I can tolerate. Yes, and sometimes I do that. Yes, Hat Creek, yes. I do have food sensory issues. I can't eat peas. I can't eat anything that is kind of mushy in my mouth. Certain smells can throw me into a meltdown. And my meltdowns are also different for every person with a spectrum. Some are physical meltdowns. Mine are I completely shut down. I go in my room and I can't people. I can't have anybody around me except for my fur babies. My fur babies are my therapy dogs, literally emotional support therapy dogs. So that's how I usually feel meltdown. I can though be very aggressive verbally when I melt down. I've been known to do that as well. I hate those because I can't always control. You can't control your meltdowns once you're in it. We can't just come out of it. It's like we have to ride this horrible, terrible ride until it comes to a stop. So luckily, I have a very loving and understanding husband, and he can see when a meltdown is coming. But yes, I have food sensory issues, and so does my son.
Do you tend to like to eat a lot of the same things over and over again, or is that another stereotype?
It can be a stereotype. I've known some autistic individuals who purposely try and eat something different and have no problem eating anything different. But in my house, we eat the same different. We have a variety of food, but it's always the same stuff, the same meals, just on different days. Yes, we do fit into that stereotype. I did
notice that.
You did notice that? I
noticed that with my children at the school, that there are some who tend to eat only like a food group of literally like 10 things.
Yes.
At the school, there was only like 10 things. Okay, bananas, yogurt, little cinnamon roll thingies, it was the specific things that they would eat. And some things with certain consistencies, he would just turn his nose up at it and be like, yeah. And I could tell. I never ever made him eat anything that he wasn't supposed to. But I literally sat down at the table with him during lunch, and my job was to ask him to take another bite.
Jandra says she's got a really good question. I would like to share an answer. She says, have you noticed increased symptoms since diagnosed, or did you always struggle with this and just didn't know why? I always struggled with it and didn't know why. I knew that I felt like I was living on this planet, but I didn't belong here. That's the only best way I can describe it. But I had to have a sit down with my psychiatrist a couple of weeks ago, and I was explaining to her that some of the symptoms since getting my diagnosis 4 years ago, that I've noticed some of my symptoms have gotten worse. And she told me that it is very, very common that those on the spectrum, their symptoms more times than not get worse the older they get. Ain't that wonderful?
Oh, lovely.
Isn't that lovely? So that explains why I've noticed that I'm quicker at melting down than 4 years ago. I've become a lot more introverted than I was 4 years ago. So like a lot of people are having a hard time being isolated with COVID-19, and for me it's an everyday event. So
I've been getting cabin fever. I think that's part of why I started the YouTube channel. I started watching like Homestead Tessie and some different people like that, and Becky's Homesteads and stuff like that. And that's how it started. I said, if Homestead Tessie can do it, I can do it. And it literally felt like she was in the room with me, keeping me company, like she was my friend. Yeah. And I know she doesn't know me from Adam. Like, she subscribed to my channel a long time ago, but she doesn't really even know what it means to me, because it's like she was already my friend. Yeah. But she doesn't know she was my friend.
You're shy, but you're very sociable in that you like to get outside and you like to go and do things.
I do. I like to work in my garden.
I just want to hibernate. A lot of times it's because of the weather. I have, like I said, I do have sensory issues, and I can't be outside when it's too hot, and I can't be outside when it's too cold. So when I lived in Florida 6 months ago, I was able to get out more, and Z was able to get out more to play, because he's sensory to temperature as well. And during the winter, because of course winters were
kept-
mild in Florida, and then during the summer we hibernated. And if we did go to the beach, it had to be like 6 o'clock at night because we couldn't handle the heat. Now we're in Montana. It's opposite. We're hibernating in the winter, and then we're outside playing and doing things in the summer because we can tolerate the temperature better. So there you go.
Bye, my Alabama life. Goodbye.
Bye, my Alabama. Thanks for coming.
So did you have
world?
Did you have a specific amount of time that you wanted to chat here, or?
I'm good. I'm ready to. I know it's 8:54 and our son needs to get to bed. So, if anyone has any more questions they have for me they didn't get to ask here tonight, just email me. It's freehandedbygod73@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. Or you can jump on Facebook, look for FreehandlyMade, and send me a friend request, and you can message me. So we're good.
Okay, so we're going to say goodbye to all you guys. Thank you,
Bye,
Kathleen,
everyone.
Area, Lori's World, Free Spirit, everybody else that's left in here. Thank you for coming on and meeting my sis-in-law. Please subscribe to FreehandlyMade if you haven't done so yet. Have a great night, guys. Be blessed and do something kind. Bye, guys.